understand this lesson, and I told you that I'm not concerned about y'all running around the church today. I'm not really concerned about us jumping and shouting today, because there's something that the Lord wants you to understand today. We had an incident in the church earlier where there was something going on in the church. People were burdened down. You have problems. You have situations that you're trying to deal with. You got circumstances that's happening in your life. And God dropped in my spirit that you had all of this going on. Now, I want to try to help you to understand why some of you, not everybody, but some of you, I want you to understand why some of you got problems in your life that is hard for you to deal with right now. And I need to try to help you to understand. Now, we understand in the lesson this morning that we heard this old song, Joshua fought the battle of Jericho. Now, we understand in this lesson that Joshua sent out spies into the area which is called Jericho. And the reason that he sent out spies was that their plan was to overtake this piece of land. Now, in order to overtake something, you first have to have a strategy. You got to have a plan before you overtake something. Now, what happened was, he says, now, I want you guys to go out, I want you to spy out the land. I want you to observe the land. I want you to go through the land. I want you to look. I want you to see what all we got to do in order to take over this possession. So he sent the two spies out, and they went to the harlot Rahab's house. Now, I got a question for y'all. Now, it's mighty strange to me that when the two spies went to Rahab's house, how did the people know to come to Rahab's house to look for the spies? Something make you want to say, right? Well, for some reason, they felt like strangers are in the land. All right. Now, if they're strangers in the land, they go into Rahab's house. Why would they go to Rahab's house? Well, Rahab was the harlot of the town. She was a prostitute. Many of you know what a prostitute is. A prostitute is a woman that sells her body for money. So Rahab had a reputation. Her house was a house that where men could come and get their pleasures taken care of. So it was only natural that when the spies came into the city, that they would suspect that they would go straight to Rahab's house, because they felt like that these spies would somehow want to get some relaxation, so to speak. Amen. So they were looking for them in Rahab's house. So Rahab told the men that she would take them up on the rooftop, and she would hide them out for a little while, because the men of the city were looking for them. So it was that she did that. She took them up on the city, on the roof. She hid them for a moment, and when the men came looking for them, she told them that the men were not there, but they had left the city and that they had gone outside of the city limits. So she told the men that if you want to catch them, you need to get busy and go and look for them, because right about now they are on their way out of the city. But we know the story. Rahab did not send them outside of the city. They was at her house, up on her housetop. Now I believe that we know the story. Rahab began to talk to the spies, and she began to tell them, now, we understand the God that you serve, he's an awesome and mighty God. We understand that when you come into a place, that strange things happen when you come. People lose focus on things when you come into the city. We can't, people can't stand up against you. And it's because of the God that you serve. When you come in, everybody begin to tremble. People get scared because you come. And we know that when you come, God be with you when you come. But she asked a question. She says, now, when you guys leave here, and when you come back, I want you to remember my house. I want you to remember the fact that I took you in. And I hid you for a moment while the people were looking for you. Remember that I hid you. And I want you to remember not only me, I want you to remember my whole household. I want you to remember my father. She went down the whole family list of who she wanted them to remember. And so it was that when they came back to do battle, they did remember the harlot Rahab, and y'all know the story, her family was saved. So now my question is, and your question should be, is that what does this story have to do with us? A spy in the camp. Well, I want you to understand that every time that you step out in your daily duties, every time you come to church, every time you come to Bible study, every time you go to Sunday school, I don't care where you go, there's a spy in the midst of your camp. Now, we have to understand why would the devil set a spy in the midst of my camp? Well, let me tell you, the reason that the devil set a spy in the midst of your camp is because he wants to overtake the territory that you possess. See, God gave you a territory. He gave you a place to dwell. He gave you, and I'm talking about your body. He gave you, well, I'm going to just say your body. He gave you this body and your spirit man to dwell inside of that body that God gave you. Now, the devil has said within himself, I need that body. I need that mind. I need everything that person got because I got some things that I want to do. And what he's saying is, never mind what God want to do. He says, I got some agendas of my own. And he says, I need that body that you possess so that I can carry out my plan in the earth realm. Now you got to understand that the devil is a spirit. Angels is a spirit. God is a spirit. In order for them to operate in earth realm, they have to have an earth body. Now, the devil have to have an earth body to be able to operate in earth realm. So, what he did was, he sent out spies to spy out your camp. And so, in spying out your camp, he wants to know what will it take to overthrow you so that he can dwell in your camp, in your body, so that he can have access to your body and to the kingdom of heaven, because he can't get back to the kingdom of heaven the way he came from the kingdom. So he's trying to use you in order to get to God, because he can't go back because God kicked him out and he said that he's never to return. So he said, I'm going to spy out your camp. I'm going to spy out your body. And he said, I'm going to overthrow you. But now, let's understand the devil's strategy. Now, he sent a spy out into your camp, my camp, your camp, everybody's camp. He sent a spy out because this spy is to observe us. He's to watch us. Now, I want you to understand that the Lord has also an angel of the Lord around us too. And he's watching us too. But now the devil has a spy. And the reason that I say spy is because he's incognito. He don't want you to know who he is. Do you understand that sometimes your best friend might be the spy? Did you understand that your cousin might be the spy? Y'all say, my cousin? Yeah. Your cousin might be the spy. Your brother might be the spy. Your sister might be the spy. Your husband, your wife might be the spy. Because the devil will use whatever entity that he can and that will allow him to use them to come and spy out your camp. Now you say, I can't understand why I'm having so many problems. I can't understand why this thing is happening in my life. Because the devil is watching you, and he has his demon spirits assigned all around you, and they're watching you in every move that you make, everything that you're doing. He's reporting back to the devil. Well, they did this morning, they did that yesterday, and they did that the day before. That they're watching you, and they're watching your every move you make. They're waiting on you to make a mistake. Well, they didn't pray yesterday. Okay, well, they didn't pray yesterday. Demon number one, you go up. Because they failed to pray yesterday. Now you get close to them now, because when they forget to pray tomorrow, you got access into their life. Hallelujah. Now, when you fail to read your word, demon number two, they didn't read the word. I want you to go. Now you got access into their life now, because they're not reading the word. Now, if they're not reading the word, you can speak words into their mind. Are y'all getting what I'm saying? Now, first thing, if you don't pray, then you don't have no communication with God. If you're not praying, demon number one, and they're watching you, say, oh, they didn't pray today. let me tell you this. And they will begin to whisper in your ear. And they will begin to tell you things that make your ear feel good. But it's not coming from God.